Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Welcome back.
Welcome to the Dinky Daffy
We're
Boys!
back. This time,
Part
this
2.
is the theme of this episode is forbidden friendship.
I would like to thank you for bringing up forbidden friendship. I've got some notes in this little black book here, and I have. I would like to surprise you. I would like to ambush you with a production meeting. Most notably, first on the docket is I have some sad news regarding me and the Dinky Daffy Boys. Tonight's episode will be my last episode.
What?
I respect Noah's commitment to really like putting out the best product possible. I feel like I've gone as far as I can with the Dinky Daffy Boys, and I'm gonna go solo, as they say, as the Dinky Daffy Boy.
Well, that being said, let me just go ahead and. All right, so welcome to my show. This is my show. I'm the only host of this show. It's called Noah's Lonely Magic Gathering Hour. We're going to spend an hour working on just me alone with you and the cards. Just kidding. It's a crank.
It's me, Jordan. We're back. So what, you want to talk about a turtle?
Yeah, let's get started. Why don't you kick us off, Jordan?
Sure. So a little primer for anybody who's just joining us. We're like, I would say a big, really important thing is you have to already be bought on to like the Noah Jordan shtick. We're not doing any kind of, we're not trying to win you over. You have to already be won over. You're not going to get anything out of this. I think that's not going to change. I think that's what we're most committed to. All right. So anyway, we're talking about Magic cards and like how well they do in drafts. All right, Aegis Turtle. 1 blue mana for 0/5.
I put dump on this.
You put dump?
I think this is like the lowest form of this card. It doesn't mutate well. I guess it sticks around to be mutated. Maybe that's good. But it just feels like a card you skip.
Yeah, fuck it. I also was thinking, let's go faster this time, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So what do you want? Dopey minus or Dumpy plus?
Dumpy plus. This guy sucks.
Hell yeah, I like that. All right. Next up. Okay.
Oh, you're still
fucking scroll wheel. All right, we have a classic. Anticipate. 1 and a blue instant for look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. It's Ponder. It's a worse Ponder. That's an instant that costs a little more. I still think very good.
It's a little stronger than Ponder. Like it costs more, so it's probably worse, but Anticipate's one of the best versions of this card printed.
Yeah, I had Dandy for this.
Dandy.
Yeah, easy Dandy.
Yeah, interestingly, so with this and then with red, which we're also looking at eventually, I think I have a lot, kind of high hopes for the like red, blue, and maybe white's part of it too, instant sorceries deck.
Yeah,
I think it might work.
Yeah, it feels like out of all those, like red has like a lot of the payoffs and stuff like that. But I feel like, and we'll get to this then, but I feel like red doesn't have a lot of great cards. Like all of the great red cards don't really fit in that archetype. Speaking of words that start with arc.
Thank you. Archipelago. It's 5 and 2 blues for 7/7. Mutate for 6. Whenever this creature has mutated, those creatures don't untap during their controller's next untap step. I think this is pretty good. 6 for a 7/7 with a strong ability. I don't think you really can count like sacrificing a creature as part of the cost, because that's not quite what's happening.
Right. It's well, you can if you also say the creature is haste. Yeah, there's
right.
just like a lot of good stuff that goes along with it.
Yeah. So I think this is like a really good finisher in a control deck.
Yeah.
I guess control decks maybe aren't going to be doing as much mutating, but I don't know. I still had this at Dandy.
I had this at Dandy also.
Maybe
I liked this card a lot.
Maybe Dandy minus.
Sorry, what was that?
Maybe a Dandy minus. I don't know. This is a fucking bomb.
It's kind of a bomb. It actually pairs really well with the Aegis Turtle, which is something that will just stay alive until turn 6. Maybe the Aegis Turtle is better than I'm giving it credit for.
I don't know. This is full Dandy. Honestly, maybe Dandy plus. Fucking, this is a bomb. Huge creatures are really good and limited.
Yeah, I like it.
I
like it also.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we've got the Avian Oddity. Hold on, let me get this scrolled in frame. This is 3 and a blue for a 2/4 flying, cycle 2 and a blue. And when it cycles, you can put a flying counter on a creature you control. So this is, it seems like every color has a creature like this.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good. I had this at Dandy minus. It's not a terrible creature by itself. Its cycle ability is very strong. Yeah.
I don't think its cycle ability is very strong. I think if this was just a 2 and a blue enchanted creature has flying, that's terrible. Oh, enchanted creature has flying, draw a card. I think it's still not great.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
I gave it dope. I said full dope.
Well, I think I'm on board. Maybe dope plus, just because it does more than one thing. Like if you need a body now, it can be that.
Yeah, look, I love every cycling card. I think I'm less excited about it when it has a cost, even with the benefit. Like when it has a higher cost. But yeah, sure, give it a dope. Dope plus.
And this is just for all of our viewers. Is cycling something that happens at sorcery speed or instant speed?
You're right. How dare? Well, sorry, I'm like, I get it. We're trying to be informative, but you're talking to. We've got a few friends watching, and it's insulting to their intelligence to act like.
Well,
you just can't treat them like babies. We can't treat our audience like. So sure, Boon of the Wish Giver, yeah, but like, at the end of the day, what are we doing here? You know, like. I mean, maybe I should have brought this up at the production meeting in the beginning of the show.
I think you probably should have brought it up then.
Well, I got actually shrunk at that point, and it's hard to concentrate when I'm so horny about being small.
I'll shrink you again in 2 seconds.
Something. Yeah. Well, wait.
Just watch yourself.
All right, I'll be good. I'll be good. Boon of the Wish Giver. I just think that we could benefit from being more insane and less just talking about the cards, because I think that's. I mean, it's
okay,
good.
Fine.
It's
I
fine.
don't know. Cycling's instant, right?
Yeah.
That's strong.
All right, Boon of the Wish Giver. 4 and 2 blues. Draw 4 cards or cycles for 1. I think this is strong. 4 and 2 blues is too much for the draw 4 cards effect. It actually probably the correct cost, but how often do you want to cast that spell is pretty rarely. When you do, it wins you the game. Like on a stalled board, draw 4 cards is you win.
Sure.
I think this card rules, and I don't know. I said Dandy, but I'm ready to bump that up to Daffy.
So I did the ratings last night, before our first show. I had this at Dopey Plus before we had the discussion on the power of cycling, and I was also, I think, rushing through it. I think you're right, though. I think this is a strong card.
Yeah. So you agree with me, Daffy?
No.
Well,
did you
why
say
not?
Daffy?
This
This card doesn't win a game. That's just wrong as fuck.
But
it does
close.
not win a game.
It
wins a game if you have a good card, but like if you don't have a good card.
Okay. Well, if you are running a good card, what are we even like? I can't help you. If you aren't running good cards, I can't help you get there. You know?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Okay, you're jumping the Sharknado here. The Shark Typhoon.
Well, I didn't know we were gonna have an audience. Now I'm hamming it up. Sure. Yeah, I'll rein it in. You gotta keep energy.
I think this is a Dopey Plus.
We gotta. I had Dandy.
Would you go down to Dandy minus?
Yeah, I like Dandy
if
minus.
You already have good draw, like I don't know if you pick up this card.
Cycling 1, I mean,
he's a freak for cycling.
I'm a freak.
Oh, it's the Capture Sphere. Who are these two? Who are these two? They're in every card art. We see them over here.
I didn't even
We see them already in our background here in the upper left.
He's heartbroken.
Yeah, someone caught his forbidden friend.
His best forbidden friend. I hope they can have a joyous reunion later.
Would be good. They can hug it out.
Keep an eye out for that.
Okay, this is 3 and a blue for an enchantment that has flash, an aura. When creature spirit enters the battlefield, tap target creature, and that creature doesn't untap. This so far is the best like blue removal we've seen so far. I think I originally gave it a Dandy, but I think it's maybe more of like a Dandy minus.
I had Dandy. I'm never gonna assume removal's bad. Like
Sure.
I just can't imagine being disappointed. Like you're gonna play 2 if you have 2 every time. You maybe would play as many as you drew. Like it's better than Theomorphosis.
That it is. Although, I don't know if there's a way you could untap your creature. It also doesn't kill abilities, which is potentially...
Yeah, it's important.
But it seems like most abilities in this set, at least of the ones we've seen so far, are centered around like combat. So we're giving this Dandy. Next up.
I like Dandy.
Classic.
All right. I've calmed down. Convolute, 2 and a blue. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 4. This is a mediocre counter spell. I don't think it's bad. I think if you really if you want a counter spell in your deck, this is playable. It's probably better than I don't know. It's kind of dead late game with the pay 4.
It's a little dead late game. It's not that dead.
Pay 4 is a lot. I had it at Dopey. Because I think
at Dopey
what'd you
Plus,
get?
I have a lot of trouble rating this versus it's not negate, it's the other one, counter creature spell.
Essence Scatter? I think Essence Scatter is better than this.
Yeah, that's probably right. Especially because so far we haven't seen... It seemed like most of the bombs in the set are strong creatures. Cool. Do you like Dopey or Dopey Plus? I'm fine leaving this at Dopey. This is like something you pick up if you want it. These are probably going to be pretty available.
Yeah, it feels like filler.
Can I get a quick reading of the flavor text in the voice of the card art?
Let me just put on my glasses. No. No, thank you. No. Oh, wait, no. Wait, is it? No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Or no,
I
thank
think
you.
I think it's the
No,
first one.
No, thank you. No,
No,
thank
thank you.
you. No, thank you.
And that's how you counter a spell. It's like, oh, here we go. This is a fun one. We're excited about. So this is the crustacean, 3 and a blue, 1/6 flash. Very similar looking to our flash turtle from the last set. What's that guy called?
Riptide.
This card sucks ass. Um,
Full
yeah,
trash
I gave it a
of
dinky.
card.
It's way too expensive. Flash is a decent ability, but it's really way too expensive.
I said dumpy, but honestly, like Riptide Turtle is a dumpy. You know what I mean? Like this card fucking
This card sucks ass. Dinky plus, like maybe you run it. Maybe dumpy minus. What do you think?
Dumpy
I think
minus.
dumpy minus.
It's not like playing a 1/6 for 4 isn't going to ruin things for you.
No, yeah, I think it's playable. It's
Yeah.
not in the unplayable ranks. It just feels really bad.
Yeah. Dreamtail Heron. 4 and a blue for a 3/4 flying. 4 to mutate. 3 and a blue to mutate. Whenever this creature mutates, draw a card. I like that mutate ability a lot. Yeah. I also like 4 for a 3/4 flying but you have to pay the mutate cost. Is great. Playing it for 5 mana is fine. Like your worst case scenario is I think still playable, and your best case I think is starting to look pretty good. You mutate it once, you get like 4 mana 3/4 flying draw a card is crazy strong.
I think like, I mean this 5 mana. Well, this card feels pretty good to play if you hit it. It feels like potentially a staple. Like just a card you're just gonna enjoy playing.
That's where I'm at with it.
I had it at Dopey Plus, but maybe it's a Dandy Minus.
I would see Dandy Minus. I had Dandy.
Maybe I like Dandy better, actually. Yeah,
I
think it's pretty solid. All right, next up is the Escape Protocol. This is one of, in my opinion, the shitty enchantments in the set. It seems like every color has a shitty enchantment. 1 and a blue. Whenever you cycle a card, you may pay 1. When you do, exile target artifact or creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. So you get to blink. You get to play a card that lets you pay 1 to blink a creature when you cycle.
That's a lot of conditions.
This card is dinky. I would love to see my opponent play this card.
So, for me, literally, my 2 favorite abilities, like, Flicker is my favorite ability. I love Flicker stuff, and I would say I'm appropriately hype on cycling. And I gave this card to Dopey.
Maybe we can give it maybe there's a deck that you fit it into, but it's like feels like it would just be better to play a card that has cycling if you're playing the cycling deck. Like you would rather just play a card with cycling.
I think Dopey's wrong. I think this is either like dinky or dirty. I think that
it's just it just doesn't feel like a limited card to me at all.
It's not. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So I would be prepared to go full dinky with the caveat that
you could get wrecked by this card.
yeah, I don't know. I don't have a target. I don't know the set. I shouldn't be doing this. I don't have a good common target in my mind that you want to flicker over and over.
Yeah, that's another thing. I haven't seen a lot of great EOBs.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna leave this Dinky caveat could be dirty.
Okay. Jordan's brave choice.
Jordan's all right. I'll throw in a JBC.
Yeah.
All right. You're good.
Essence Scatter. Now, fun fact about Essence Scatter. There were some in the first constructed, pre-made Magic deck I ever bought was a blue flying deck from 7th edition, and it had this. Oh, we're going. Oh, fun. We're doing. All right. I'll stay for focus. Okay, 1 in a blue counter target creature spell. I think this is a really strong counter spell. In limited, you are scared of creatures. That's what you want to be countering. I think probably 9 times out of 10. That's what the bombs you have to look out for are. I think this is a dandy. Though, it could be better. I think dandy is super conservative, actually. That's kind of assuming there is no busted control deck. And there probably is some version of that deck that's really strong, and it's going to be better than a dandy in that deck.
Sure. Yeah, I mean it depends on what kind of deck you're running. You probably don't want to run this if you're running aggro or something, or it becomes less useful. I'm gonna shrink you all the way.
I get it's good for me to be.
Yeah, no, I think Dandy's pretty appropriate for this. It's a pick it's a thing you want. Maybe Dandy Plus if you want to get excited about it. If we want to really say this is our preferred counter spell.
It is I mean, it is the preferred counter spell.
Yeah. All right. Ooh, it's the Facet Reader. Ladies.
Start your engines.
And may the best reader win.
Every flaw in the crystal represents a moment where our strategy might go wrong.
This guy fucking sucks.
What?
Okay, it's 1 in a blue, Human Wizard 1/2. You can pay 1 to rummage. Loot. Blue looter. Draw a card, then discard a card. And also tap. He's weak. He can't be mutated. His ability is okay, but I think actually relatively expensive. I don't know. You think you like this guy?
I don't like him, but I think his ability is kind of strong.
It's hard to pay for. If you pay him turn 2, he doesn't really provide that much defense. He's probably not blocking well against something your opponent is playing. And he's not swinging, and you have to pay to use his ability.
I think the man sucks. I think he's a shit man. Who if he was so good, he would read a couple more stat points into those crystals.
Yeah.
If he's so smart.
Yeah,
if he knows how to read.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. This guy doesn't believe in the heart of the crystal, and that's where he went wrong.
And that's and I don't want to tell a man how to do his job, but if you're gonna be a crystal reader, if your job is to read the crystal like a book, you gotta trust the heart of the crystal. I know him as a dope.
I put him as dumpy, but that may be a harsh.
I
he's not terrible to play. The ability is decent. Although in a set where cycling is so prevalent, maybe the ability is weaker than it seems.
Sure. I kind of in my head, this goes in a cycling deck. Because the only issue with running a ton of cycling cards is you fill your hand with lands. Because those are the ones you can't play fast enough. If you're doing lots of cycling. And
I just
this
feel like
helps
you
you.
really see these cycling decks going off. Like you really see it like you're cycling every turn. Like it just feels so slow and
It's a control deck. It's how the control deck goes off. It's not you're not cycling your first 3 turns usually unless you need a land or something, and then it's an incredibly good way to find a land, and it's actually blessed, and you'll come crawling to me to say sorry, Jordan. That
I mean, we'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell.
time will
Okay, history will show.
history will show. History will show.
I'm fine with giving this guy. I think Dumpy is a little hard. We can give him a Dopey minus.
I like it.
Okay. Next up. Oh, it's a classic. What do you think about this art? You like this art?
I hate it.
I don't like this art either.
I specifically love classic Frostlings, who's much more of a normal cat.
Yeah, this guy's like, I don't know.
Yeah. The other Frostlings is cat first, cold second. This one's basically just cold, cat afterthought.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 and a blue, 2/2, elemental cat, so non-human. When it enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. I think this is the only creature who I'm excited about flickering repeatedly.
Yeah. Good flicker ability. I think also like kind of good in like a mutate deck. Like normally Frostlinks you wait to play for the right time, or you're playing it in like an aggro deck or something like that. But like you can throw them down and slow your opponent down. And then feel good that you have like a relatively safe cat to cast one of your stronger mutate creatures on.
Makes sense to me.
I don't know if mutate becomes a thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Frostlings is solid.
Yeah, Dopey Plus. Is what I gave him.
I like Dopey Plus. I don't know exactly what deck wants Frostlings.
Some sort of aggro, probably. Like, I don't know how much that mutation thing holds up.
Yeah, like I don't think Frostlings is good in an aggro deck, and I think it's not great in a control deck.
It's like
unless you have ways to combo it, like the flickers and stuff.
It's not bad in an aggro, but once we get to red, we'll see that there's a lot stronger aggro cards.
Yep.
All right, next up, in the same vein, the Frostveil Ambush. 3 and 2 blues. Instant. Tap up to 2 target creatures. Those creatures don't untap during their controller's untap step. Cycling 1. This card is very expensive. It does have a cycling. It's very expensive, I think, for a relatively weak ability. I don't know. I didn't love this card. I put it in Dumpy.
Sure. So this is part of a cycle, I think, like which is the word for like version of a card that exists in all the different colors. So like Noah and I are part of an early cycle. The cards we're superimposed onto.
Yes.
But there's these 5 mana instants that have cycling 1 in I think all the colors. There was one in white, and I know there's one in red. And so I think we've got. Okay, thank you. I'm trying to figure out which way I have to lean.
I got you.
I gotta go this way.
Let's fix it.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, I think it's strong. It just doesn't matter that it's overcosted, because, well,
what are you using?
I guess maybe
this like.
Maybe right. That's the real question. It buys you 2 turns.
It buys you 2 turns, or it helps you break through. But the helps you break through is just like too expensive, and like it makes the cycling more like less, I don't know, like exciting to me because like it's like a deck where it's just like, okay, we just need to get to the end. But like cycling doesn't feel good in a deck like that.
Jordan's new bold choice is that the instant and sorcery deck works, and that like you like playing lots of instant and sorceries, filling up your graveyard with instant and sorceries. Like that's a thing.
Or cycling an instant or sorcery that ends up in your graveyard.
Absolutely.
So maybe in this archetype it's useful.
And for whatever reason, I've bought into. I've bravely.
It's because you're a shill, and you all you do is just figure out what they're trying to push, and you try and push it yourself. It's actually really embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, pattern recognition is a skill.
It's not a pattern recognition. It's they write it in plain English.
Like you're putting pieces of a puzzle together, and that's what I love most about the art of gathering. Is that you're really tasked with this. There's an infinite number of permutations of cards you can play.
Okay, what's your vote?
I had Dopey.
Dopey. I had Dumpy. I'm fine to give it like a Dopey minus.
Yeah, sounds right.
Okay, next up. Another classic. A lot of reprints.
Glimmerbell. I've never seen this card before in my fucking life. Glimmerbell, 1 in blue, 1/3 flying, 1 in blue to untap Glimmerbell. I think the 1 in blue untap is a cool thing in Constructed and doesn't do much of any of shit for us. So
Mutate is the only thing I could think about. It's an insanely good creature to mutate.
I guess it's actually an insanely good creature to mutate. I hadn't thought of that.
I just don't know how strong mutate. Like I don't know how interested you are in like good mutate targets. But I would like to mutate this creature. It sticks around. It's able to block, stay around early, and when you mutate it, you get 2 really good abilities.
That's true and sick. I wrote Dandy for it, but I think I was rushing.
Oh, I gave it Dopey Plus. It's funny that I was more hot on it.
Dopey Plus is way more where I want to be, but
all right, we like Dopey Plus. All right, next up, Gust of Wind. 3 in a blue for a sorcery. Spell costs 2 less to cast. This is also a cycle, I think. Right, Jordan? 2 less to cast if you control a creature with flying.
Yes.
Return target non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand. You don't control to its owner's hand and draw a card. This card is not that good at 2 mana sorcery.
Nope. I think it sucks shit.
Yeah, this card sucks shit. I gave it a Dinky Plus.
I love Dinky Plus for this.
Okay, cool.
Like,
yeah, I really don't want to be playing this card.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Is it even good at 1 blue? Like, I guess it's good at 1 blue, but it's a hard condition to fill.
It doesn't cost 1 blue.
But I'm saying, like, if it costs 3 less to cast, if you control the creature with fire, I'm saying even if they like buffed that.
Yeah. So because it cantrips, because you draw a card at 1 mana, I don't like. It can be very, very weak, and I'm okay with it.
The sorcery speed feels really bad.
It is really bad.
It just feels really bad. All right, next up.
And you can't target your own stuff with it.
Yeah, that card sucks ass. Maybe it's just straight Dinky.
It could be fully dink.
They can't.
1 in a blue, instant. Creatures your opponent control get -2, -0 until end of turn. Cycling 2. So that trick that doesn't do enough for me to be excited about it. Yeah. It lets you. It hits a lot of creatures. And, like doing all of their creatures losing 2 power is cool. I'm just not convinced. I would never want to run more than one of it. Running one of it, I probably am fine with, especially because of cycling. That like a really big thing with cycling is it makes me so okay to run one of basically anything.
Sure.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel terrible to run
Maybe.
because you can just get rid of it. I wonder if this format's going to be fast. Like, I wonder if aggro decks are going to be stronger. Just if people are like being like, yeah, I can run anything, whatever, I'm just going to cycle it. You get totally fucked if like someone's just like runs an aggro deck that is just like, and you cycle turns 2, 3, and 4 or something like.
That's that's Jordan's brave choice. Is for the red blue oops all spells aggro. Just fucking wipes the floor with any deck that's trying to go slow.
Yeah, red. Yeah, we'll see. Red.
Yeah, I was really excited.
I was really excited about red. Also, it seems really strong.
Yep.
All right, so I had Dumpy for this. I don't know what you.
Yeah, put it in the dump store.
I'm putting it in the dumpster.
I had Dopey, but only because I'm a coward.
Oh, I like this card. Yeah, Keep Safe. I love this card, actually. It's 1 in a blue, an instant to counter a spell that targets a permanent you control, and draws a card. This card seems pretty sick. It seems sick if you're running some sort of mutate build, or something where you have like a strong creature. I don't know. I think a counter cantrip feels good to play. And it seems like this is a set where you will have permanents that you want to protect.
Yes.
Where you've invested a lot into a permanent.
How frequently will they be targeted by spells?
Well, I saw a lot of premium removal in red. I saw a lot of good removal in red. I saw a decent amount of removal in black.
And
yeah, it just seems like it could be. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm getting a little excited. I put it at Dandy. I didn't get so excited. But like
I had it at Dopey. It's fucking. It's boring as shit.
It's cool. Counter draw card there's not a lot of counter draw cards.
It's not real. Or it's not a real counter spell. It's hexproof.
It's not necessarily true because it kills the whole spell.
Target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn. It's worse than that because if they have a second spell, they can just target it again.
That's a good point.
Isn't it just
it's a good
hexproof?
Point.
How is this not just hexproof?
It's actually worse than hexproof.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
Like, even Starlit Mantle is more interesting to me. Like the +1/+1 enchantment is cooler to me than draw a card because the hexproof is so small. Like I like it. I like it as part of like a combat generally. Like this kind of effect is when it's most impactful is during combat. Like when they think they're gonna pull something off and they don't. And like I liked the +1/+1 Starlit Mantle gave more than the draw card.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, I think you're right. You convinced me. That hexproof argument was pretty strong. What did you have it
at? Dopey.
I can look at Dopey.
What's the name of the card where two guys arguing? I guess I just like the art. I think the name wasn't any good.
It was something about like rule of law or something like that. Like
checks and balances.
Yeah. All right, this is you. It's
one in blue.
Mystics in the frame. Sorry.
What's that? Mystics of Duel, 1 in a blue, flash, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets -2/-0 and loses all abilities. I think this is actually decent removal. It's small stuff only, but it functions. I don't know. It's cheap. I like that it is flash. I had it at Dandy.
I have a dumpy with a question mark. I don't quite remember filling this out.
Ooh.
I think I was mutating creatures won't give it new abilities. It can gain new abilities in other ways.
Wait, what are the other ways?
So I think that means like if you put another aura on it that like gives it like lifelink or something like that, it can get that lifelink, but it can't get a new ability if you use a mutate spell on it.
Oh, I bet ability counter, like keyword counters, like if it had a flying counter, it would keep flying.
Well, it loses that.
The counter doesn't fall off.
Oh. Okay, maybe this card kind of sucks.
Yeah, I'm coming around.
Yeah, I think I put the question mark in because of that like extra text there, which is like it seemed like there was like a little something more going on, that this card is like a little worse than it seems.
Yeah.
I'm kind of fine with Dumpy. It seems like removal that you don't want to run, but maybe you need to because you don't have enough.
Even mediocre removal, like I would lean Dopey just because
it's not really removal. If all you're doing is taking away 2 damage, like I mean, probably in that case, it's best just used as a combat trick.
Yeah. Okay.
Dumpy. I'm putting Dumpy. Maybe Dumpy plus.
Yeah. Give Jordan's brave choice Dopey minus.
Absolutely not.
It's a brave choice.
That is not brave.
All right. What about Jordan's cowardly choice? All right. This is yield.
Okay, it's the Mythos, which is a cycle. The Mythos of Aluna. 2 and 2 islands. Create a token that's a copy of target permanent. If a mountain and a forest was spent to cast the spell, instead create a token that's a copy of that permanent, except the token has, when this permanent enters the battlefield, it's a creature. If it's a creature, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control.
Snooze.
Snooze fest. Kind of a snooze fest.
Total snooze fest. Create a copy isn't terrible. Like, how do we like clone?
Clone's easier to play than this.
A bit, yeah. I don't think it's trash.
Also, it's copy of target permanent, so it has quite a little bit of a different ability.
Yeah. Maybe it's good. I gave it Dopey, but
Is Clone good and limited? I don't know.
Kind of. You can hold it until they have some unanswerable threat, and then answer the threat.
Maybe. Unless their threat is wide. Like, it's...
Yeah.
I don't think it's as much of an answer. And just, like, making one of their best thing doesn't necessarily answer your opponent.
Right.
I don't know.
I would be surprised if this wasn't solid.
It doesn't feel like something I'm, like, excited to pick first.
No, but I think it's solid.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. I had it at Dopey plus.
Okay, I like it.
All right, next up. Another classic.
Neutralize. Okay, 1 and 2 blues, counter target spell, cycling 2. Mwah. This is premium counter spell. This is like busted good counter spell. There are decks where you don't care about countering. Like it happens where you just don't need a counter spell. And then you get to cycle it. It's so good. It's so good. I love this card. Dandy plus.
I felt the other way. I felt like counter target spell and cycling 2 are like abilities at odds with each other. Like if most decks there is something you want to counter. And if you're holding mana to counter it something, I mean, I don't know, maybe you're trying to catch up with your opponent or something like that, but it's hard to play. It's got the 2 blues.
Very, very specifically, you leave the mana open, you wait to see if they play something that needs countering, and if they don't, you cycle it.
But then what about next turn? Like, don't you want to hold on to your counter spell? Like,
well, you have more in your hand.
Okay, so this is if you have too many counter spells. This is a good spell to play.
Yeah, and then it's the best counter spell.
I can get behind that. It's premium in a control deck that has a lot of counter spells.
Yeah. Huh. Okay, I'm coming around.
I had it at wow. Okay, maybe this is a little harsh. I had it dopey minus, but maybe it's more of like, I don't know. I felt really, I guess, strongly about the cycling mixed with the counter. They felt really at odds with me.
Well, I mean, counter spells, their thing is that you need to keep mana up for them.
Uh-oh. All right, we're back.
And we're back. And we're live?
We're live.
And we're live.
Yeah, no, we're live.
And we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
All right. I say let's take swings. Let's fucking live our lives. Give it the dumpy minus you wanted.
I said dopey minus. Dopey minus. It's too low. It's dopey. I think you're happy to play this counter spell.
Okay.
Maybe dopey plus.
Truly spineless.
A healthy intellectual changes their mind often.
Are you drunk?
Yes. Okay, of 1 mana, it's 2 in blue for a sorcery. Costs 2 less to cast if you control a human and a non-human. So this is more in the human beast horniness. Draw 2 cards. I like this card a lot. This seems like the best draw card in blue. I gave it a dandy. It's pretty good. It's like very playable at cost. And if you end up getting to play it for 1 mana, that feels pretty good.
That does feel pretty good. I would say first and foremost, this card is beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful, and it's good that we have like some representation.
The connection between man and beast is so frequently misunderstood that to see them having a true melding of the minds.
There's like a little like laser in between their heads.
They're meeting each other where they're at. Like no one's going the full distance for the other one. I think that's in itself is a game, like that's straight up dandy to me.
Yeah. Okay. This didn't work. What I tried to do. Yeah, I give this dandy also. We like it. Enough of it.
It's all fucked up.
It's all fucked up. Hold on 1 sec.
There we go.
Okay, next up.
Ominous Seas, 1 in blue. It's an enchantment. Whenever you draw a card, put a Foreshadow counter on Ominous Seas. Remove 8 Foreshadow counters from Ominous Seas. Create an 8/8 blue Kraken creature token. And then it's got a little thing at the bottom, name of Cycling 2. I like this card. I think it's very cool control card. If you can slow the game down, you will hit this in probably less than 8 turns. An 8/8 Kraken is nice. It would be cool if it had some sort of bonus octopus power, but it doesn't. So what? And I love cycling. You draw this too late in the game, fuck it, cycle it. Or just at a time when you don't need octopus, cycle it. It's cool. It's chill.
I hate this card. I think this card's terrible.
No, I think you're terrible. Why?
This is a card. This is a card that you run that you just cycle. That's like this feels like just a card that you cycle.
You don't think you're playing it on turn 2?
I don't want to.
You got an octopus.
In 8 turns? So what?
In less than 8 turns, you're cycling every turn, so you're going to draw it in 4 turns. And then all of a sudden your octopus is swimming about, and he's squirting his inks.
It's just not that good, the 8 octopus.
Just squirt ink. Just squirt ink.
It's just not that good.
Just squirt ink.
Alright, what do you give it?
I said Dandy, but that seems high.
It's way too high. I'm going to put down Dandy like Jordan put Dandy.
Okay.
But I gave it a Dumpy. I'm not very excited. Dumpy plus? I don't know. What do you want?
Yeah, fine. Dumpy's fine.
Dopey? You want a Dopey?
No, I'm sick of... Nothing can be Dopey anymore. Speaking of, Phase Dolphin.
Yes. This is 2 and a blue. Whenever Phase Dolphin attacks another target, attacking creature can't be blocked this turn. I think this is Dumpy to Dopey. Its stats kind of suck. I guess it has a good ability, so it's a good mutate target.
Except it can't make itself unblockable, so making it big isn't exactly what you want to do.
No. But giving it evasion, which a lot of mutate does, or something like that. But even... I don't know. This card just doesn't quite... It just doesn't quite do what it seems like it's trying to do. To me.
It's one of the most shittiest of all the cards I've ever...
We'll give it a Dopey minus.
Yeah, that's perfect. Poliwag.
I'm excited about this one.
Poliwag Symbiote. 1 in a blue. 1/3. Each creature spell you cast costs 1 less to cast if it has mutate. Does that mean its mutate ability costs 1 less? I think so, because I think how mutate abilities read is you may cast this card for this cost. I think.
I have no idea.
We'll double check. Whenever you cast a creature spell, if it has mutate, draw a card, then discard the card. Dandy. I think it's super solid in a mutate deck. It helps a lot. It's a good mutate target itself. I like the guy. He's cute. I don't know.
I have in my notes best blue 2-drop. Loves to be mutated.
He sure does. He's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's an all around very solid card. I put Dopey plus. This fucking... Okay, unpause.
Boop, boop.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we're back.
I had Dopey plus. What do you like?
History will show Dandy minus.
Dandy minus?
Wait, what did you say?
Dopey plus.
That's so close.
So close. I don't know, just putting the Dandy on it. I don't know.
I'm having faith in the archetypes.
He's having faith in the
Trust
archetypes.
the masters.
All right.
Trust the masters.
Next up is the Pouncing Shore Shark. It's 4 in a blue with mutate for 3 in a blue, flash 4/3. Whenever this creature mutates, you may return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. This card's sick. Comes out of nowhere and wrecks your opponent.
Sure does.
Cool combat trick. Its stats are pretty good. We love Flash. I mean, Anything more to say?
I think it's funny to see a shark with
This is funny.
arms. That's, to me, it's worth
It's the
checking
pinnacle of
out.
humor, really.
It's one of the top forms of comedy. Arm shark. They did it on SNL, and it worked.
That was SNL is now a popular show because they
Yeah.
did the shark with arms.
Yeah. Lorne Michaels.
Okay. All right, we're back. So.
Well.
Pouncing shore shark. Where do we land on this guy?
I give it 2 big bites.
Two big bites.
Out of 3.
Over 3. I think that's good. I think that translates.
That sounds good. All right, next card.
Ooh.
Okay. You have to scroll up a second. All right, 2 and 2 blue reconnaissance mission. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. Cycling 2. This card's super good. Not in every deck, but you build around it. You like flyers. Honestly, blue-white flying. This card goes off every time. I have it at dirty.
I don't like this card.
What?
I didn't like it. I just wish it was like a creature. I hate that it's just like an enchantment that just sits there. The cycling's okay, and maybe I had it at Dumpy, and maybe it's more of like a dope plus.
If you don't have a board, you ditch it for free. Cycling is for free.
Yeah, I'll give it a dopey. You want to give it a dandy? I mean, that's really meeting in the middle.
I don't want to meet in the middle.
All right, we'll put this as dirty and see how it goes.
Yeah, that's right.
We got it on record that I have a dumpy, and history will show.
History will show.
Oh,
that's right.
This card though I like this card a lot more. The Sea Dasher Octopus, 1 and 2 blues, so you can mutate for 1 and a blue. Flash, and when it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card for a 2/2. Yeah, this guy slaps.
No.
This card's good. This card's better than the last card.
You need other stuff that wants mutate for this to be anything. You're getting it once. I mean, you can put it on something with evasion. That's true, but its stats aren't good enough. So you're probably putting it under the cards. It's probably not a stats boost. It's 2 for a flash. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. That's. I mean, Staggering Insight is that all basically. Staggering Insight's really good.
And it doesn't have flash.
It also gives +1/+1 though for the same total cost.
But this is also just a creature. Like it. You're just weighing the mutate. Like there's other stuff going on.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Right. It's still 3 for a 2/2 flash with an ability. Yeah, I think it's good. I had it at dandy. I just wasn't convinced that it was busted.
Yeah, I had dirty minus, but now I mean I think thinking about it more, maybe it's not that good. I'd be fine with a dandy. God damn it. Okay,
You're killing me.
Okay. I'd be fine with a dandy.
No, give it. I like taking things.
It just doesn't feel like something. It doesn't feel like a card where you're like being gutsy. Like I'm taking a gutsy. Like it's basically wearing all of its tricks on its sleeve here. It's like either this card
Sure.
goes off or it doesn't.
Dirty minus. I like dirty minus.
That's what I had it at. Now, I made a joke about this earlier. I alluded to this earlier in the cast.
What was your illusion?
I said Sharknado, but...
Oh. Shark Typhoon. In some ways, a Sharknado. 5 and a blue. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying, where X is that spell's converted mana cost. It also has cycling X1 and a blue. When you cycle Shark Typhoon, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying. I have this. This is a fucking Daff attack. This is full Daffy. This is a bomb that will win. Is like it's so good.
Like, do you think because of the cycle ability?
I think the cycle ability makes it always good to see in your hand in every situation. It's not every deck. So right. It's possible that Daffy is gotta mean like you want it in every deck that's playing those colors, and I don't think this card does that.
No.
But I think it's solid in that. I think X1 in a blue create an XX flying creature is strong, like at instant speed. Like that's really strong.
Yeah, that is really strong. Although it kind of makes the cycling ability like less. Well, whatever. You cycle it. Although I feel like it's hard to give like bomb status to a card where it's like the worst play out of that card is just like you discard it and draw a new card. Like it's just not a bomb then.
No. The worst play out of most cards is you don't get to play it because it costs 6 or 7 and you never got there. This card never does that.
Yeah. Playing it as an enchantment though feels... It doesn't feel particularly strong.
Really? You play 2 non-creature spells and it's more than paid for itself. Well, it's probably paid for itself.
That's just not a bomb though. It's just so manageable.
Yeah, if you've done 2 of them. But if you play 5...
Well, that's a lot of
win.
fucking cards. And it's a 6-drop.
I know. What do you think this card is?
Okay, so I think this is a low rating. And I think the cycling alone, it doesn't... I think this card's dandy. I mean, maybe dandy minus. Like, the cycling ability is strong. I don't love the enchantment ability.
Why don't you love the enchantment ability?
Because I don't like enchantments.
What do you mean you don't like enchantments?
I don't like it in...
You don't like static effects that just activate every single second?
Okay, you know this isn't activating every single second. And you've said before... Okay, it's a build around a really good card, but like...
Okay, build around Daffy Plus.
Build around Daddy.
Build around Donald Duck. Full on Daffy. I think it's dirty easily because
the cycling is itself dirty.
Yeah, like that's a kind of nuts card.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think going to daddy status is not like brave. I had Daffy with a question mark because it depends on your deck.
It's a card you really like to play in your control blue deck.
You really like to play. Like, it's your win condition in your control blue deck. It's your unanswerable fucking you will win. Like it's your inevitability source in a blue control deck.
Honestly though, like if you look at the ability, you create Like what creature? I mean, I guess you play like the 6 mana draw card spell. Yeah, I mean it's good. It's probably good.
Counter spells are nuts.
Well, they
this.
just create. I mean, they create like 2/2s.
And they counter whatever you just countered. You get so far ahead.
It comes out so late, and it doesn't do anything when it comes out. That's like what I don't like about the enchantment.
That makes sense.
I get to build around Daddy.
I think that's accurate.
We'll see about that one.
It's just always going to be solid.
Yeah. All right, next up is Starling Development, 1 and a blue for an instant. Until end of turn, target creature becomes a blue serpent with base power and toughness 4/4. Cycling 1. Jordan loves this card.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, the cycling's good. I don't know, you're wearing me out. I'm bored of arguing against it.
What'd you have?
I had Dumpy.
Dumpy?
It's not removal.
Oh yeah, no, this card seems pretty bad. I could do Dumpy. Sucks.
Thank you.
What do you want the 4/4
I
for?
don't know.
It's such a clumsy size to be.
It's a really weird thing that like it's not that much of a hit if you're upgrading something, and you definitely don't want to turn one of your opponent's creatures into it. It's not that useful.
I think that flavor text is a lot of fun.
Remarkably, dinner continued with no further interruptions.
So the eagle turns into the thing we see here. I don't know. Cut me some slack. Okay. We have got Thieving Otter, 2 and a blue for a 2/2. When it deals damage to an opponent, draw a card. It is a mutate target. That is all that it is. I give it a Dopey.
Not much to say on this guy.
Yeah. You want to mutate it. I don't think you want to play it if you're not trying to mutate it.
Alright, next up, fucking Chad Alpha.
The man.
The Voracious Great Shark. 3 and 2 blues. For a flash 5/4. When it enters the battlefield, counter target artifact or creature spell. Yeah, this card's fucking sick.
The card's fucking
like
sick.
The counter spell is cool. It's pretty scary by itself. I could just imagine playing this card where you're countering a spell and opponent conceding. It can be such a swing.
100%.
Yeah, I like this card. I gave it a dirty minus.
I gave it a dirty. I am leaning dirty plus though. Like honestly, no. Like I want like daddy minus. This is the best blue creature, right?
Yeah, it's a little hard to pay for, but I can get behind daddy minus. I don't know. It's cool, but it's like
no evasion hurts it.
No evasion,
but it's a combat.
Yeah.
It's a combat trick or a counter spell, not both usually.
That's right. Yeah.
What about dirty plus?
I can do dirty plus. Yeah, it feels bad because it's like it is a really strong creature, but you're not like super happy just playing it turn 5.
No, you are not.
Unless it's coming in to block something.
Yeah. Well, it would come in. You play it as a counter spell almost every time.
Or like kill a creature, like or a combat trick. I mean, both are good. Like it's very versatile. Like it's just a strong card.
It's a strong card.
It's not like it has the ability to like completely flip a game, but normally it's just going to be a strong card.
Wingfold Terran, 5 and blue for a 3/6. It enters the battlefield either flying or hexproof. So I think 6 for a 3/6 flying is not terrible. I would be surprised if you put hexproof on it. It would be like for future mutating stuff, probably. Mutate with hexproof is really strong. It's just not. If it had cycling, it'd be like my favorite card, and because it doesn't, I think it's kind of bad.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's pretty bad also.
Dope. I had dope.
Dope's right. Maybe Dumpy Plus. It just feels it's such a 6-drop. It's so expensive. Like if this is your 6-drop, your deck sucks. Like
I mean, this is a great card on turn 6. It's a shitty card to have in your starting hand.
It's not a great card on turn 6.
Yeah, it is. Basically, any creature you can play on turn 6 is going to be great.
It's a 3/6. The stats suck.
The stats kind of suck.
I think it's a dope. Maybe dopey minus.
Easy. Okay. How did this end up so long?
I don't know, but here's our last one.
Beautiful. Wingspan Mentor, your turn.
2 blue, human wizard, 1/3. When it enters the battlefield, put a flying counter on target creature, non-human creature, and it lets you buff. This is another of the mentor cycle. This one's better than the last. Still not convinced it's good. It is cool that it can buff a flying creature, though. It's kind of expensive and slow.
Yeah. I think this is really, really good, actually. It is slow. That's definitely the downside. But with 1/3, body can block a bit. Giving your 2-drop flying, so giving your 2/2 flying, and then upping it twice to a 4/4 flying is a game winner. Like 4/4 flyings win games, easy peasy. Also, if you then mutate whatever you gave flying to, I think flying is a really strong thing to have with the mentor. I think, like, if you pump it 2 or 3 times, that's game changing.
Yeah, it's just hard to pump.
Yeah, it's slow.
Like especially in this like on curve story that you have, like it's the only thing you're doing for 2 turns.
It's controlling. So like you're keeping a counter spell open, and then when they don't play something, you do the counter at the end of their turn. It's controlling. I'm with you that it's a specific deck.
What do you think?
I had Dirty, which I recognize as ambitious. I would rather swing big and freaking strike out and then hit a home run, than like bunt and have
What's the difference
like.
Between you and me? I'm
wouldn't
a
you rather
ball guy. I got small balls. I have small balls.
Well, so I would rather hit a home run. You would rather bunt, and then the ball bounces off the bat and hits you in your small balls.
It doesn't even hurt that much.
That is common. Yeah, who's on first? It is true. Okay. Yeah. What did you give it?
I'm just really not sure this card's strong at all.
Sure. I definitely don't like meeting in the middle. I like putting both of our rankings there.
So you had dirty minus?
I gave it a full dirty.
Okay, cool. That's the end of blue.
Cool.
All right. Just gonna go ahead and thank our sponsors. Channel Fireball. Thanks for sponsoring us.
Sorry, I said the thing about the penis, where the ball hit the penis.
All right. Goodbye.
We don't have a sign off?
Yeah. We don't have a sign off. We gotta work on that.
Okay, I like that.